You see, Albert, in his early 20s, maybe felt a lot like you feel like right now. Anxious, frustrated, uncertain, waiting for the opportunity to show your best and feeling like it's not happening yet. In 1902, he gets a job. Not a science job, he gets a job in a patent office in Switzerland. To many people, this would have felt like I didn't get it right, it didn't start right for me, but not for Einstein. Einstein knew my journey has started. You see, work is this extraordinary thing. We've let it feel like it's not that in our lives. We've let it feel like it's the thing you don't want to do, but work is this powerful opportunity to shape your life, to build the dreams that you have. That is what work offers you. And Einstein had glory in his eyes. He knew what he was aiming at, but it didn't start there. For many people, this would have added to their desperation. It would have added to their depression, but not for him. Not for him. He knew this was the start. He was ready to go to work. What's next? You see, we grew up in a system, we grew up in a school system, an education system that gives us targets. And those targets are designed to build our life, to ask you to be at your best. That's how we prepare for life and work. And then one day we leave school, we enter the rest of our life. And the targets start to look different. The targets aren't designed to build your life. The targets are designed to build a business, build an organization, build somebody else's goals. And for many people, that feels like a really frustrating place to be. But not Einstein. Einstein knew he was there to do patents. But that didn't mean he couldn't choose his own target. You see, Einstein went to work every day. And in his patent office, he had a desk that he worked at. And in the top drawer of that desk, Einstein chose his own target. He called the top drawer of his desk his theoretical physics department. That's where he was going to go to work on his science every day. In the moments that he had, in the time away from the patents, he was going to pour his energy at his own target. From that patent office, in 1905, we call it the miracle year. Albert Einstein released 5 papers, 5 scientific papers, and 4 of them changed the world. This is equals MC squared. This is the theory of relativity. This is what Albert Einstein was working on in the top drawer of his desk. He didn't just choose his target. He started to change his actions. The idea that you can set a target for yourself and then you can start to bend your behavior, change how you're showing up to actually reach that target. This is the idea that you can either lead life or let life lead you. That you can give yourself the permission to change your future. And Einstein, one of the most brilliant men the world has ever seen, showed us how. You see, after Albert was ready to work, after he chose his own target, after he changed his behavior, he then realized this wasn't just about him. You see, in 1905, he releases some of the world's greatest scientific work, and he still stayed at his patent job for the next 4 years because he realized that it wasn't just about him. It wasn't just about what he could do. It was about giving back to those who would offer him a chance. So for 4 more years, he spent in that patent office, thinking through his science through the top drawer of his desk, and also his daily job. You see, Einstein never let that idea drift too far from his life. He could have used his incredible brilliance, his genius, to make millions. He decided to think through it in a different way. You see, Einstein, you got to think of where he was at what time of our world he lived. This was a Jewish man living in Germany in the 1930s, recognizing that his science had the capabilities to secure a world or break it apart. For the rest of his life, he toiled with the power of his science. He recognized this wasn't just about him. This was about a world, this was about a better outcome, and he knew that it could go down one of two paths: better life, terrible life, for everyone. And he held the responsibility of that. In this idea of leading life, others need to support, others need to believe in you. And if you keep putting the focus on yourself, they start to drift away. Albert Einstein, for the rest of his life, showed us what it meant to live for the world. You see, Albert Einstein, in the final days of his life, was getting quite sick and was asked to give a lecture, to give a speech at a university in the final days of his life. He gets sick, goes to the hospital, brings his speech with him so he can continue to work, continue to write down what he wanted to offer for those in attendance. And on April 18th, 1955, Einstein died, speech in hand, recognizing that his final gift to the world wasn't done. It wasn't complete. The problem that he was working on, his life's work, would never be complete. But he'd found the thing that mattered. You know, you don't need that answer now. I think about all of you young people sitting in this audience, thinking about your future, feeling the pressure to have this thing that you want to bring to your hospital bed. You don't need to know it now, but you need to be excited about finding it. You need to be excited about finding that thing that matters so much that you're willing to bring that speech to your hospital bed. Albert Einstein, we know his brilliance in science, but we forget about his brilliance in life. 20-year-old Einstein might have felt just like you. Anxious, uncertain, feeling like all you need is a start. Well, he got a start, and it might have been very different from what he was hoping for. But he was ready to go to work. He was ready to choose his own target. He was ready to change his behaviors. He was ready to realize it wasn't just about him, and he was ready to realize he was going to do this for the next 60 years of his life. And at the end of his life, he was still willing to bring that speech to the hospital because the problem wasn't done. Those 5 rules will serve you well. And I thank you for your time today.